I don't need any failures for kids, and I won't be paying child support either. My husband Brian blurted out. Since we got married, the stress from his job seemed to completely change him. I never imagined his promotion, which was supposed to be good news, would drastically alter our marriage and family life like this. It's unbelievable that he became someone who would lash out at his family to relieve stress, even going as far as to say hurtful things to our daughters without a second thought. I kept telling myself it was okay because he was tired from work, that it was understandable given his stressful job. I was willing to endure any verbal abuse if I were the only target. But a man who could hurt our two precious daughters and not think twice about it doesn't deserve to be called a father. Then one day, he sprung the idea of divorce on me. Well, if that's what he wanted, I was more than willing to oblige. It would be too late for regrets or tears afterward. My name is Lauren. Currently a stay-at-home mom, I used to work in public relations for a corporation before getting married. There was a time when I thought my career was everything, but as I saw everyone around me getting married, I panicked and turned to a matchmaking service for advice. I didn't click with anyone at the matchmaking service and feared I might end up alone. However, after joining the service for 6 months, my luck finally turned around. One of the men introduced to me there would later become my husband, Brian. Working as a buyer in a department store, his gorgeous smile and lively conversation were captivating, and we hit it off as we had known each other for years. Being with him filled me with joy, and it didn't take long for me to start thinking about marriage. We get along so well, and I think we can build a great family together, Brian said. I feel the same. Sometimes when I'm talking to you, I completely lose track of time. I'm sure we'll build a happy home filled with laughter. It just so happened that we were both ready to get married, so things progressed smoothly and we tied the knot. I remember how fun it felt, almost like an extension of our dating period when we started living together as a married couple. However, I began to notice a change in him shortly after we got married. He was busy at work, coming home late more frequently. One rainy night, he came home and immediately had something to say. Hey, can I talk to you about something? What's up? What is it? I got a talk from my manager this morning. I might be getting a promotion. His good news made me jump for joy. A promotion? That's amazing, Brian! It means all your hard work is being recognized. I need to work hard at my job too. Thanks. I didn't expect you to be this happy. Then we must celebrate your promotion. What do you want to eat? I'll make your favorite dish. At that time, I was struggling to achieve results at work. I sincerely thought I should work harder, inspired by him. Then, out of nowhere, he said something I never expected. Actually, I have something else to discuss. I want you to quit your job and focus on the household. So, you want me to be a stay-at-home wife? Despite the challenges, I had always been committed to my job at the company I joined fresh out of college, so his suggestion felt like a cold splash of water. I'll be getting a raise, so our income will be much better. You won't have to worry about living expenses, he assured me. But I really like my current job, I began to protest. But he interrupted me, raising his voice. I just want you to focus on the house, that's all. Hold on, can't I keep working while managing the household chores like before? Well, you could, but I don't want to be seen as a failure. I was shocked. Brian wanted me to quit the job I loved just so he wouldn't be seen as inadequate. He's afraid people will think that the reason I'm working is because he isn't earning enough. So you're saying I should quit my job because you don't want to be seen as a failure? Who would even say such a thing? The people at work. It seems I might be in line for a store manager position in the future, and I want you to rely on me, thinking you've hit the jackpot. Around that time, we were discussing having children, and I was thinking it would be quite challenging to continue working at my current job while raising kids. I decided to take him up on his suggestion and quit my job. A year later, I was blessed with a pregnancy and gave birth. We had a quiet life, enjoying our time with our studious eldest daughter Rachel and our energetic second daughter Rose, who loves physical activities. However, it seemed I was the only one who thought we were living a happy life. His promotion had led to an immense increase in workplace stress caught between his subordinates and superiors, and he started taking out his work stress on us at home. Moreover, maybe it was his direct supervisor's influence, but his sexist remarks became more frequent and unbearable. Hey Brian, I was thinking about sending Rachel and Rose to tutoring classes. What do you think? Tutoring? There's no need for that. Overeducated girls end up missing out on marriage. Missing out on marriage? Hello, it's 2024 now. Jeez. They have schools they want to attend, so I thought for their entrance exams, maybe it's better for them if... He grimaced and retorted. Entrance exams can be managed somehow. Girls can get by on their charm even if they're a bit silly. Despite his previous assurances that we wouldn't have financial worries after his promotion, he became stingy when it came to money. It wasn't just tutoring. He was reluctant to spend on necessary school supplies, so I ended up using my savings from when I was working. I wondered what could make him so reluctant to spend money. During my regular trip to the supermarket, I bumped into a neighbor. While we chatted, she shared something I wish I hadn't heard. She had seen my husband with another woman looking suspiciously close. Curious about their relationship, she thought to inform me. Despite hoping otherwise, recent behavior and financial oddities had been suspicious. He was coming home late every day, and the household budget seemed inexplicably tighter. Concerned, I decided to confront him. Is there something you're hiding from me? What's this all of a sudden? Are you doubting me? He began to stammer. If you're not doing anything wrong, just say so. Wow, you're quite bold today. He tried to deflect, so I decided to push further. I saw you in town with a woman. Whoopsie, he quickly said, confirming my fears. Why would you do that? I thought his reaction was an admission of guilt. However, what truly shocked me was his attitude afterwards. He smirked. Did you really think I'd apologize? What? What are you talking about? I was bewildered. He continued, unfazed by my reaction. You don't know what I'm talking about? I don't want to be with you anymore. Isn't it obvious? Wait, what do you mean? Think about it, Lauren. You don't wear makeup and basically lost all that feminine side to you. You should be grateful I'm even letting you stay at home without working. He sighed dramatically. What's that supposed to mean? You were the one who wanted me to stop working, and now you're saying I should be grateful? Lately, Rachel and Rose have started to resemble you too much, lacking charm. At this rate, their future doesn't look promising. I had resolved to ignore his insults if they were directed only at me, but I couldn't stay silent when he began to mock our daughters. You're mocking them too? Rachel is gloomy, and Rose is like a boy, always running around late. They don't even greet me when I come home. Girls without charm, well, you know what's in store for them. I can't believe you'd say such things about your own daughters. Living with you is suffocating. I want a divorce. Marrying you was the worst mistake. Being told he regretted marrying me felt like a physical blow. What did his life with me and our daughters mean to him? However, they're still his daughters. He must fulfill his duty as a father, at the very least. About the girls. Yeah, spare me. Wait, what do you mean by spare me? I mean, I'm leaving it all to you. I'm gonna live with the person I truly love. We're having a baby, and that kid will need a father, right? He waved his hands dismissively. His words were incomprehensible. Ignoring my confusion, he continued. I don't need any failures for kids, and I'm not paying child support. To call his own daughters failures was beyond belief. Filled with disbelief, I knew I couldn't just let this go. No, you can't just decide not to pay. It's not up to you. And what do you mean you don't need them? Our daughters are not objects. Taking care of such gloomy and boyish kids is hopeless. You're their mother. Do something about it. While arguing with Brian, our daughters came home. It seems that they were returning from the library, their bags filled with books making a loud noise as they dropped to the floor. What's going on? What's wrong, Mom? They seemed to have overheard our argument, their faces frozen in disbelief. I'm sorry for worrying you. I might have reached my limit. I can't live with your father anymore. I explained to my daughters, finally reaching for the folder with some documents. Are you okay, Mom? I'm okay, sweetie, thank you. I couldn't let Brian get away with exposing our daughters to such awfulness. I pulled out the filled-out divorce papers from the folder and thrust them at him. What's this? Got something to say? Getting rid of someone like you will be a relief. Here, take the divorce papers. Huh? Despite his claims of wanting a divorce, he began to falter once we agreed to it, seemingly not expecting us to actually go through with it. You wanted a divorce, right? Then you need to sign these papers. Let's get your signature, shall we? It's called a divorce form. Come on, Dad, just sign it already. He trembled, looking at me and our daughters. You guys okay with me never coming back? Well, you're hardly ever here anyway. Rachel retorted sharply, leaving him speechless. Without me, you won't be able to live in this house. Are you still okay with that? Wow, you'd say something like that, huh? It's fine. Life's much easier without you. Really, you're just like your mother. Unattractive. I don't want to see your faces ever again. With that, he angrily signed the divorce papers, packed a small travel bag with his work bag and minimum clothing, and left the house. This turn of events was undoubtedly unexpected for him, who had imagined us begging and crying. We fist-pumped as he walked away. Dad's gone. It was suffocating with him around. This might cause you girls some trouble, but I'm sorry. It's okay, Mom. Being scolded by him is worse. We prefer being with you. And so Brian and I divorced, and Rachel and Rose began living with me. I started working at a local supermarket, utilizing my past experience and efficiency, which was often praised. My coworkers were wonderful, and I felt like I had regained my life. The girls seemed more cheerful since separating from Brian. However, this peace didn't last long. Brian started contacting us again. Dad's calling again? He's been calling a lot lately. Yeah, he's been calling frequently. I don't really want to talk to him. He must want something. Despite our divorce, I kept his contact for child support issues, but he would call anytime, ignoring my schedule. Eventually, I answered, tired of the persistence. Hello? What do you want? I'm at work. If it's important, just spit it out. Hey, don't be so cold. We were a family after all. I thought you might be lonely without me. No, I'm not lonely, and I have nothing to say to you now. Why bring up family all of a sudden? Then he began to cry over the phone. I realized I was happy with you. Can't we start over like before? Excuse me? You were the one who wanted to be with your mistress, even got her pregnant and left us. You have no right to say those things to me. I was out of my mind back then. It was just a moment of madness. His audacity to dismiss his actions as a moment of madness was unforgivable. I did love Anna and even talked about having kids with her, but the person I saw in her was all a lie. What do you mean, all a lie? I don't understand. She doesn't cook, and her place is a mess. She's terrible. I was surprised to hear him suddenly speak ill of his mistress. She says she needs to eat for two and only organic foods fit her taste, which cost a lot. She can't clean, so it's like living in a garbage dump every day. But you loved such a woman enough to leave your family for her, so you have no right to complain now. I didn't know she was like this before we got married. I'm the victim here. It seemed he only saw the good sides during the affair. Blinded by infatuation, it was all his own doing. Well, if you cheat, that's all you see, the good parts. Maybe you should accept her as you once loved her. I wish I could, but it's impossible now. Impossible? Why's that? You could do the cleaning and cooking for her, right? Then he started shouting on the phone. Me? I do the cleaning and cooking for her? No way! I can't forgive that cheating woman. What do you mean? She cheated on me while I was away. She wanted to clean the air for the baby or something and ended up sleeping with a cleaning guy. Can you believe it? Cheaters will always cheat, it seems. According to Brian, the cleaning service sent a young man, and Anna had an affair with him. Well, someone with the nerve to cheat will always be that way. It's not surprising she'd cheat again. Because of her, I can't focus at work, making mistakes, and now I'm in trouble with my superiors. You're always careful not to get in trouble with your superiors. He was making mistakes at work due to the shock of being cheated on. This led to a demotion and transfer to a regional store where he struggled with the new work. A friend of mine works in that regional store and told me that Brian was often yelled at by a younger supervisor. His relationship with his boss worsened after an argument, leading to a harsher treatment. Overwhelmed by the difficulty, he quit his job and now lives off his savings, burdened by the debt his mistress accumulated. It was all well deserved. He even came to me several times asking to pay off his debts. Seeing him waiting at the supermarket entrance where I worked gave me chills. Once after work, I was called to the office by the assistant manager, where I found Brian looking much thinner and smaller than before. The assistant manager explained that Brian had tried to leave the store without paying for items in his bag. Upon learning he was my ex-husband, they called me in. How could you do something so embarrassing? Unbelievable. I just thought it would be nice if you could pay for me, since I'm really strapped for cash. And why should I have to pay for your unpaid items? We're divorced. We're strangers now. Clean up your own mess. Don't be so cold. Can't we just let bygones be bygones? I couldn't stand his flippant attitude and turned back to him. Let bygones be bygones? That's something I should be saying to you. How can you even say that? You haven't shown any remorse at all. No, I mean, I've said it before, but we're divorced. We're not husband and wife, so don't rely on me. On my end, both daughters have grown up to be admirable individuals, which as a mother fills me with joy. Rachel, who loves to study, became a psychiatrist, driven by a desire to help people suffering mentally. And Rose, always active, went to a university with a strong softball team and continues to play softball professionally while working. Seeing them pursue their own paths make me happy. But Brian has tried to worm his way back into their lives, contacting them through any means possible, like social media messages and inquiry forms of Rachel's clinic, which is quite unsettling. Apparently, he was even waiting for Rachel at the clinic where she works. Hey, I've been feeling really down lately, and I'm broke and struggling. You're a psychiatrist, right? Just write me a quick note. I don't want to work anymore. I'm thinking of getting on welfare. Oh my god, stop it. I can't write you a doctor's note for such reasons. If you keep coming, I'll have to report this as harassment. You're so cold to your own father. Women should be kinder. Father? Don't start acting like a father only when it suits you. How dare you? After that, she contacted the security to have him removed if he showed up again. He even demanded living expenses from Rose at our company, but was turned away as she refused to fund his life with his mistress. Unfazed, he persisted until a young employee physically removed him, typical of his relentless nature. With my daughters moving out, I started living alone. It's been a while since I've lived by myself. While it felt lonely at times, living alone also brought its joys. My days are filled with work and my hobby of gardening. Lately, I've been enjoying cooking with the vegetables I grow, and I'm always trying to grow delicious veggies to share with my daughters. Rachel, I harvested some pumpkins from my garden yesterday. Want some? Ooh, yes, please! Your vegetables are so tasty! I can't even think of buying from stores anymore. Well then, I'll drop them off when it's convenient for you. When's good? I'll include some tomatoes I picked too. Thanks, Mom. My work schedule should clear up by tomorrow, so I'll let you know. Maintaining a good relationship with my daughters, even living apart, feels great. I've also made some plans to have tea with a friend I met through a gardening club. Enjoying afternoon tea while talking about hobbies is something I couldn't have imagined in the past. My daughters have grown up to be independent, marking a successful chapter in my parenting. Now, I'm looking forward to enjoying my own time.